So to kind of give you an intro to this, this was our 3rd year anniversary trip. We decided to go to Colorado Springs, Colorado, mainly because I loved Colorado when I went there when I was a kid. And Chris really wanted to see Colorado, and I love the mountains, so I decided to kind of take him on some things that I did when I was a kid, such as Pikes Peak. I also went to Garden of the Gods, and then we also threw in some new stuff that I'd never done before, like the Royal Gorge Bridge and the Mountain Zoo, and even the Seven Falls. And so the dates that we went was we left on Sunday, March 19th of 2017, and we were there until Wednesday of March 22nd of 2017. Okay, so I'm just going to pop in from here and there to kind of explain things that we never talked about. This was our first year of vlogging something, our first official trip of doing something other than our honeymoon. So I'm just gonna pop in from time to time to explain things that was never really explained throughout these trips, and throughout every day. So just enjoy this pop-up, I guess you could say. So now we're going to talk about day 2 of our Colorado trip adventure. Let's just start with talking about going to Seven Falls. We never really explained much. When we got there, we had to park in a parking lot and ride a bus up to the top to get to the admissions to pay to get in, and obviously some worse. And when we got through with all that, we were hiking up the mountain thing, and to get to the whole falls, it is about 200 plus steps. It says like 224, I think. There's a video of it in this video. And honestly, it was a really steep stairway and a very narrow one, and it literally says pass. Me being a little heavier than normal people, I guess you could say, how steep it is, how high up it is, how narrow it is, it all freaked me out. Okay, I was freaking out. There is a halfway point. There's a plank at a halfway point, which you could see in the video, where you could stop and see part of the falls, but to see the whole thing, you keep going up and over. By the time we got to that halfway point, I freaked out. Chris was freaking out. At 11. You on camera? No? Okay, anyways. Okay, so halfway up to this little area was where me and Chris kind of start freaking out, and we just wanted to stop. We didn't want to go up any further. And if you could tell in the video, we did just stop there and we never went up further. You can pretty much see it. It's not like you can't see it. I mean, I don't know what's at the very, very top, so I don't know. But I mean, we saw a waterfall, okay? We saw what we were trying to see, I guess. And while we were up there, we met an older lady. While talking to her, we found out she's also from Nebraska. She's what I thought was a little more north from where we are, which I thought was really cool because we're in the middle of Colorado and we find somebody that's from the same state as us. And she, of course, was also freaked out. She doesn't like heights either, and she was freaking out. So we were just sitting there talking to her and trying to calm her down, and we all decided we were kind of freaked out that these stairs going back down were the scariest things ever. So we all decided that we'd help this lady down and we'd all go down together. One stair at a time, and it was gonna be the slowest going down the stairs possible. We had literally backed up the line because we were going so slow. While we were hiking down, we did stop by the gift store that was there. Chris ended up getting a little tiny water bottle, a reusable one, not a plastic one. We got some postcards, and then we also got a pen and some crushed pennies. So let's see here. So I made a book to kind of keep all of our postcards in because I have so many of them. So that is kind of something that we did. As we were hiking back down the mountain, there was a bee flying around us, and I am scared of bees due to the fact that they could sting you. Mainly a childhood trauma happened, and it really kind of scared me. So I don't like bugs, I don't like bees, I don't like wasps, I don't like anything like that. So I was kind of freaking out. And Chris was like, calm down, it's fine, it's fine. And at the time, I was wearing, something is at my shoulder. Okay, so I was wearing my flower shirt. It's the shirt I'm wearing on our profile picture for our YouTube channel. I was wearing that shirt, and the bee was trying to land on me to basically pollinate. And it just kept landing on my shirt, would not leave me alone. And then we took the bus back to our car, and while we were on that bus, or while we were leaving that bus to go to our car, we saw that lady again. Keep in mind, after we got down to the bottom of the stairs, we took our separate ways. They stayed to look at some things. We ended up hiking down, stopped at a gift shop, and somehow ended up on the same bus that ended up at the same parking lot at the same time. It was literally the weirdest thing that we've ever experienced. So yeah, let's get in with the next one. So when we drove to Garden of the Gods, we went through the visitors building first. We went through the whole museum of that, which is a lot and kind of really cool. And then we went through the gift shop where Chris got a sign of his name. We got some gym rock things that were found in there, and then we also got some postcards and pins. You will find out I have started to collect postcards and pins of every place we go. So it's not that surprising. Okay, so we ended up going back to our hotel, and we went swimming. So after we went swimming for a couple hours, we decided to get out and go back to our room and take our showers to get the chlorine out. This is kind of where we started to realize that Chris and I are kind of a little sensitive to chlorine. So we don't swim very often. We do when we need to just swim a little bit because we haven't in a really long time, but majority of the time we don't. So we went swimming and we went back to our room to take our showers, and as Chris was went in to take a shower, he started to step into the shower, and he found out that the water was too hot for him, which is odd because he loves hot showers. But it was too hot for him that he ended up trying to step out, and when he stepped out, the floor, of course, was slick, and he slipped and fell in between the tub and the toilet. You know how hotel rooms have the toilet right next to the tub? So you have the tub and then you have the toilet right here, and there's this little space here. That's where Chris fell, and it was the funniest thing. I decided to order some pizza for supper. We like to eat at least once when we're on a trip somewhere new and something we don't have at home. And we just wanted pizza. It was easy, something we can ask to deliver, something like that. And there was a pizza place called Extreme Pizza. As doing research to kind of give you a picture of the place, they are now closed. I don't know what happened, but they are no longer in business. But in fact, it was really good pizza, and if it was open, I would have recommended. But it's permanently closed, so you can't get it. And then after we ate our pizza, Chris kind of felt fat and didn't feel up to par. So he decided, oh, we have a workout place, a workout room in this hotel, so why don't we utilize it? And I agreed to go down with him to watch him work out, and he was working out. And he was working out for a while, and I kind of just got bored. I didn't want to be in there anymore. It smelled like feet, it smelled sweaty, it smelled gross. I couldn't stand the smell anymore, that I just wanted to leave. But Chris still wanted to work out some more, so I ended up leaving out of the room, and I went to sit in this little waiting area by the elevator near a laundry room. And Chris ended up, I don't know how this happened, maybe he took a different way to the elevator, but he must have gotten on a different elevator or took the stairs, because he ended up in our room and he freaked out because I was not in the room and I was still waiting for him. I thought he was still in the weight room and I was waiting for him. I got to a point where I was bored and I went back to the waiting room and couldn't find him anywhere, and I had no idea where he went. He comes back down and flipped out because he thought I was kidnapped. With all train of thought aside, he had a really good reason to be in a different hotel room. This was right around the time where this little girl went missing from her hotel room in Colorado. So I mean, it was around the same time that things are happening, so I understand. And when you're in a new place, you think the worst and you don't want to be alone. And I don't usually go places alone. I don't like Chris to usually go alone. There's always both of us together. And so I understood where he was coming from, but I just didn't know how he ended up upstairs without me seeing him. I was waiting by the elevator. He might have taken a different elevator or went up the stairs. I don't know exactly, but yeah, that happened. And then this might be a little bit of a TMI, but I thought it was kind of funny because it kind of ties into the story before when he was going to take a shower. But he ended up slipping again on his way to use the bathroom, and he slipped off the toilet. I thought it was funny again. This kid cannot figure out how to, for the life of him, be in a hotel bathroom, apparently. So that is what happened on day 2 that I've never explained. That is now explained.